Many years ago when I was a young man. I was in college, and there was a time I was seeking God. I wanted to know him and to learn more and to feel closer to him. And I didn't know how to do that. I really didn't. The instruction I was given about praying and having a list and going into a prayer closet somewhere, it just didn't work well for me. And what I ended up doing was just sitting in it was a third floor lounge in the dorm that I lived in, and go out early in the morning and watch as the sun was rising, and I would read in the Psalms. And not any particular one at any time, just wherever it was, wherever it opened it to. And I spent time in the Psalms and reading them and basically just communing with God in a simple way. Because I didn't know what I was supposed to do, but I found so much beauty in those Psalms and that time that I spent with them with the Lord. And it just is something that's a very powerful thing. It was just an opportunity to connect with him. And there are so many things in the Psalms, so many words of encouragement, words of wisdom. There's David pouring his heart out, his fears, his frustrations, his anxieties, and then he shifts in the middle of the psalm where he focuses upon God's faithfulness and God's strength, and it's a beautiful thing. And how many times have you and I felt these sort of things that David's expressing that makes the psalm so powerful? And what I wanted to do, just thinking about that, is to go back and look at just a couple verses in Psalm 37. Now, I don't remember Psalm 37 specifically, these verses impacted me at that time, 40 years ago, almost 40 years ago. But now, at another time, they became very, very powerful verses. And so I'm going to read them, verses 23 and 24, Psalm 37. And this is what we find here in the New King James. It says, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Lord upholds him with his hand." And it's beautiful in how it's worded and what it means. I want to look at another version of this, and this is from the Passion Translation, and it says, "The steps of the God-pursuing ones follow firmly in the footsteps of the Lord, and God delights in every step they take to follow him." Verse 24, "If they stumble badly, they will still survive, for the Lord lifts them up with his hands." And there's such beauty in this. But when you start to delve into the actual words in the Hebrew that this is translated from, you will see that when he talks about the steps, he's talking about your way, your path, as you're marching, as you're moving. It's your steps. And he says the steps of in the New King James says, a good man. The Passion Translation said the God-pursuing ones. This is a particular Hebrew word which was used for warriors. It's used for those who are strong. And in fact, it comes from a word which means to be strong and to prevail, to endure, to withstand that which comes against it. And there's a beautiful aspect to that, because when he says the ones that are firm and secure and strong, these are the ones whose steps are ordered, set in place, directed by the Lord. And the things that we've talked about at different times in these different ones of these videos is listening to and hearing God in his wisdom and following that. And when I am truly going to be in a place of strength means that it is his word, his wisdom that is ordering, guiding, directing, establishing my steps, my way. And then the second part of verse 23, and he delights in his way. Get the pronoun proper. The he is referring to God. God, my Father, your Creator, delights in the way that you're going. Why? Because you're listening to him. You're seeking him. You're trying, and you're hearing him, and you're trying to follow. You're walking in his footsteps. This is where you find your strength. You truly are a warrior fighting against opposing forces. And God delights in this. And verse 24 should give you great comfort, because it says, even if you stumbled and you fell, you're seeking to walk in his steps, according to his wisdom. And if you fall, God doesn't abandon you. He never does. He's your Father. He loves you. And he lifts you up. He picks you up. He takes you. He is holding you by the right hand. His hand. He lifts you up so that you are not lost. You are not discarded. You are always important to him. It's like a daddy walking with his little 2-year-old son. And the 2-year-old will stumble, or maybe he's a 1-year-old, doesn't matter. The stumbling toddler is held by his father's hand, and he holds him up. And he delights in the steps that he's taking as he strives and he seeks to walk in the very same steps as his father. This is the picture, a beautiful one at that.